right. So today we're talking about ASP.NET Basics for Experts. You actually just gave this talk recently at a conference. Am I wrong there?
I gave it on Tuesday in Malmo in Sweden, and I gave it 2 weeks ago. It's my talk du jour. I'm loving giving this talk. There isn't a single slide, sort of, not a single slide, and it's fun. But this is going to be super fast and super abridged because I like to pack a lot of stuff into it. You know, I'm gonna sneeze. 1 second.
Okay. Thanks for the warning. Look at the light. Look at the light.
I did. I looked at the light and it got scared and it ran away. I could just feel it building. I was like, no, I'm going to make faces at the camera and sneeze instead.
It knew you were live, so it was like, we'll hold back this time.
Yeah, so this talk came about because I have teammates who are experts but in Java, and they wanted to know how to do all the awesome stuff that they do in Java and Spring in .NET. And so this talk, I sort of built it for people who are coming from other languages, or maybe they're coming from, you know, an older version of .NET or framework or something. And it's like a whirlwind tour of how to get the basics of a really, you know, bog standard application up and running and ready to go. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's all the stuff I like doing.
Yay. Well, I'm excited for you. Let's go ahead and get you up and loaded here.
It's me.
You. It's Cyclist squared. This is the best day ever. Okay. Well, I will let you take it away.
Alrighty.
And all right, let's learn about the basics for experts here.
Alrighty, thanks, Jamie. So yeah, this is me. You saw me here earlier. I don't work for Microsoft. You may have thought that because I was hosting, but no, I am an advocate for VMware. I also live code and stream. I'll be starting YouTube in anger soon. I used to do it. I'm an MVP. I'm a GitHub star. I used to be a director on the .NET Foundation, and I founded the Women of .NET, which led me to being friends with Jamie, which was great. One of the good things to come out of that initiative. This code is on my GitHub, which is down here in very bad contrast because I'm in dark mode, Layla-P. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and my now YouTube handle is at Layla Codezip. All right, so today, what we're going to be looking at, if we get time, I told you it's going to be a whirlwind. I normally live code the entire thing, but I'm going to do some cheating by commenting and uncommenting code. So we're going to have a look at top-level statements, minimal hosting model, global using directives, dependency injection, and IOC. I'm going to assume you know a bit about what dependency injection is. We may not get to the minimal APIs. I may skip that because I'm sure there's plenty of other talks on minimal APIs. We're going to look at HTTP clients and client factories, resiliency and circuit breakers, and yeah, we are not going to have time for anything else. I can guarantee that. So let's get going. And I am going to switch over to what are we going to do? Well, the thing I think, if you want to know what's happening in .NET 6, .NET 7, I upgraded this application last night, so fingers crossed. We need to see where we've come from. And that's with a .NET 5 application, which I've got over here. And what we started with was this program. And you can see we have lots of indentation, program main, and loads of using statements. We go over here, and then we head over to the startup. And over here is where the magic happened, and this is where we lived in our code. You're getting a small amount of static from my mic. Ooh, I don't think I have. No, I can't do anything about that. It could just be static in my voice. It might be. I can't. You'll have to live with it. I'm sorry, folks. So we have everything happening in here. We have our configuration, which is injected for us. We can add more stuff to the configuration. We're adding our services, controllers, and all of this sort of stuff. And then we build out our application down here. And then we can add middleware and all that jazz. Okay, so I was very attached to my startup file. I was sticking startup in my Azure functions and my console applications. Wherever I could stick a startup file and do that, I was really happy about that. And then along came .NET 6 and now .NET 7. And let's go and see what we get now. So if we go .NET Web API, and let's do a minimal. And I may have not done I need a new. There we go. Let's have a look. Oh, I knew it's one hyphen. There we go. So we've got that, and then I'm going to open that in Visual Studio Code. And let's have a little look. All right, so this is going to look a little bit familiar. We've got a program file. Oh, my goodness, that looks very different from the program file we had. When I first saw this last year, I was like, nope, nope, big nope, 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 nope. And I thought this looked like a script. I didn't like it. And the reason why it now looks like this is because we don't have program and main, because they are now static, and we can call the web application builder just like that without newing it, without doing any of that. And this looks like a script. And I tell you, code does not like it when I change the resolution of my screen. There we go. And no, later, go away. So now what we have is this top level statement. That's what this is called. So, and we do that. And this is the minimal hosting pattern model, whatever you want to call it, the web application and create builder. So we've got the two combined, and we create that, and you can pass in some arguments, and then we go straight into adding our dependencies. So IOC is an inversion of control container, and that's when you want to decouple dependencies from your functionality. And I'm definitely going to sneeze at some point. We'll see. It may just let go. I'm sorry. So we still have our iService collection, which is our IOC container here and available to us. And out the box, we get a little bit of Swagger or Open API, and this is going to be our API Explorer. And then we go and build our web application, and we can add all of our middleware. We can do some stuff. And then down here, we've got a minimal API because I selected minimal, and everything is in here. It's all just there ready to go. And it was really like blew my little brain, and I didn't like it. So I started to do patterns and things to make my brain like it a little bit better. And that's what I've got over here. So let's switch windows. And just go away. I don't need any help right now. Don't worry, this is all commented out. That's why it all looks low contrasty. And what I've got is a now .NET 7 application, which was running and building this morning at 7 a.m. So fingers crossed it will continue. If not, we'll switch to a different branch. And I have everything you could want in here. And this is the demo that I suggest that you go and have a look at and play with. It's got like data in it, migrations, you can go and build this, and it's to do with waffles. So I hope you're not hungry, because yes, it's yet another food demo from me. I love doing food demos. All right, so let's go in and have a look. Well, one of the things I forgot to point out in the code example was, do you see there's no indentations here either? That's because we have, we've got rid of some of those, because we can have globally scoped dependencies, namespaces, sorry, not dependencies. You see this? That can go, and I can just do that. And look, I got rid of some dependencies now. I think there's probably a erroneous brace down there. And if I Control KD, wowzers, look at that. I got rid of some indentations, and that's pretty cool in my books. Okay, so let's go and have a look in here. We have a lot less usings than we did in that other example. And that's because if I go and check out the global using file, which I hopefully can do in here. Let's go in here. You can see I have implicit usings enabled. So based on the type of application you install, it's going to give you some implicit NuGet packages and libraries that you may like to use. And if we go and have a look at manage, I'm not going to be able to do it in here because this is just open as a folder. You would see the implicit ones, which you don't need to put in your CS proj, and then the ones that come with it. So you can see we've got that. If we disable, I'm going to get red everywhere because I don't have anything up here. That was the wrong. Oh my goodness, everything's going to go wrong in here. You see, we don't have any using statements, and that's because it's all implied. But here we do. And what if I wanted to use system.text.json globally across my entire application? Well, we can do that now with our global usings, and we can add a CS file. It can be called anything. I suggest you call it something sensible, like maybe global usings. Stick it in the root, And then you can get rid of all of this. And if I pop that in, it's still grayed out. And if I go here and actually get rid of it, you'll see I've got loads of errors. Okay, everything's unhappy. So I need to put the keyword global in front here. And this came out with .NET 6. But now this is globally scoped, which you may want for something like system.text.json, but not necessarily for, say, your data entities. So make sure that you're scoping things adequately and not just globaling all the things. That's not sensible. So that's that done. And you can see all my red squiggles have gone. Now, in the template, we didn't get our configuration. Remember, in .NET 5, it was available in the startup. So what we can do here is go builder. Let me make this bigger. There we go. We have builder.configuration, and then we can add everything. You can still use your user secrets. All of that's there, environment variables, and we've added that. And then I still haven't figured out whether I need to build it at the end, but I'm building it because it works. And I've spoken to some people on the team, and they don't know either. So we'll find out later. So we come down there, and then we're going to skip down here. You can see we build it, and then I've got a minimal API down here. And I've got some dependencies in here. I'm newing up a client, newing up stuff, horrific, and doing all of this. So I don't want to do this. I want to get rid of this. And so you totally can do with your minimal APIs, you can totally do dependency injection. We can go into this expression and just inject it like so. And then I can get rid of all of this. Okay, so that's happy, but where's it going to get this implementation of iWaffle creation service from? Well, what we have to do is come up here where I've commented it out for speediness, and we now have that HTTP client. So we had the using var client equals new HTTP client. I've now added that to the IOC container and using this nice wrapper of add HTTP client. Now, under the hood, that is an HTTP client factory. So it's going to manage all of your clients, all of your sockets. It's all going to well round beautifully for you. I've added a singleton waffle ingredient service because that doesn't have an interface. And then I have an implementation of iWaffle ingredient service here. So imagine if I had a whole load of dependencies in here. This is going to get really full. And this was one of the things I really didn't like with this new way of doing stuff. So let's just get rid of that. And what I like to do, and I've created them earlier, is if I go into extensions, I like to extend iService collection. And I've got this file here called add dependencies, and it's a partial class of iService collection extensions. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't have to be partial. That's just the way I like to do it. And you can see I've extended iService collection, and the way I've done that is by calling the this keyword. And basically those dependencies got dumped in here. And then to use that, we can just go builder.services. Probably got this somewhere down there, but it doesn't matter. And there we go. Guess I can see it. It's here. And so you can add that, and that is now a nice little wrapper. It keeps this program file much tidier. And we've got them over there. And this will all still work, and this will still be injected in here. Okay, so whizzing along. Whew, so much to cover. But I don't like having my HTTP client in here, nor this singleton. We can do better. So I'm going to get rid of these. And now I've just got this dependency. And I have another extension here. Now, there's no reason that you have to separate these. I just like to separate stuff. And I've gone in here. And what I've done is this is now clients and policies. Again, it's still a partial class of iService collection. And we're still extending that iService collection. So now I've put these services add HTTP client in here. And I've commented out this add singleton thing here. Now this is left over from ORDev. Let's change this one to .NET Conf. That's where I was earlier in the week. And we've got this singleton, but if we go and look at Waffle Ingredient Service, it actually needs an HTTP client. That constructor is asking for an HTTP client. So we can actually convert this to a strongly typed HTTP client. And that's really awesome. That's now all handled by the client factory, and we can request that anywhere we like. The other thing that we can do with HTTP client factory is have a named client. So if I come here you can see that I've given this a string name, and this is one that we've got here. Just we can set the base addresses in here. You can set headers, anything that you need to put on client, you can put here, and then it's globally available to everything. Now, you may have noticed this is a minimal APIs, but I have controllers, so you can combine them together. You can do whatever you like. And if we come in here, I'm going to just show you how you can go and get that named version out. And it's no longer called that. It's called, what did we call it? Go back here. It was netconf. Was it .netconf? It was .netconf. Not the best name with the dot at the beginning, but that's okay. So if we go into our controller, I can then inject HTTP client factory that is available to me. And then I can go and say, hey, can you go and get me a client by the name of netconf with that setting? So we can inject that as well. So we've got that. But one of the beauties about having a strongly typed or any type of HTTP client is that we can append policies to it. And this is what makes our applications really super duper resilient. And we have our waffle ingredient server. So this is our strongly typed HTTP client. And you notice here I've got policies attached to it. You don't have to, but I suggest that you do have some policies. We've got fallback, a retry, and a circuit breaker policy. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what a circuit breaker is, I have a picture. No, I don't want to close it. And if you think about electrical circuits, that is what a circuit breaker pattern is based on. So we have a closed circuit, that's all good. Now imagine we have, I'm going to need to add me here. Let me just, so you can see me. Okay, so if I have service A and service B, and service A is sending requests, I need to get this way, to service B. What if service B is down and not accepting things? At the moment, it's just going to fail miserably. So what I can do is put the circuit breaker in, and it will keep sending. Well, it will stop sending them after a certain threshold. So say 3. It will try 3 times, everything will break. It'll be like, oh, okay, what do I do now? So it opens the circuit. And that's what you see there, the open stage. And then there's a set time delay. And that allows service B to restart, get another instance of it, whatever it needs to do. And then our application will send 1 request. And that's called half open. It's trying it, toe in the water. And if that fails, it's going to open the circuit again and wait another amount of time. If it's successful, it closes the circuit and everything returns as normal. Okay, so let's go back here, and I'm going to flip over and show you how we can implement that. So down here, retry policy is just how many times it retries on a certain thing. So for example, we've got not found. And then fallback is what happens if it's not a successful code. You can do stuff there. Okie dokie. So here you can see I've got a circuit breaker, and that comes with Poly from which is the library I'm using. And you can go and find out more about Poly, and it's the namespace is Poly and Poly circuit breaker, and you bring those in. And what we can do is, remember I said how many, what's our failure threshold? And that's 3. In this case, I've set that. And then I can set the time span. So this is 1 minute. And then I can do some more stuff to log basically what happens. So if we come down here, you can see that those methods are just down here and they'll do stuff. Okay, well, I guess I can show you what happens when this isn't in place and what happens when it is in place. So let's do this. I have not that one, this one. Now I have a ingredients API here. You can close some of these. I just closed the one I wanted open. Let's go in here. And at the moment, this is going to be all positive. So I'm just going to comment that out, and I'm going to set it up so it fails every time. Okay, so now I just need to restart that. That's just an Azure function. It's all included in the repo if you go and check it out. And let's now go back over to our application, and I'm going to run. I don't know where that's going to pop up. I'll find it somewhere. It's going to open a window somewhere. Has it? Okay, it's not going to be helpful. Let's go and find out where it opened it. Hopefully we'll find it here. Let's go and try. And then we need to do /swagger. There we go. No, it doesn't. Oh, look, it's failed. Why have you failed on me? Obviously, I didn't sacrifice enough puppies to the demo gods. All right, let's run. This could be all because of that pesky .NET 7 I did yesterday. Trying to keep up with the cool kids. Where are we? Unhandled exception. Service type basics for experts. Singleton implement. Oh, okay. We don't have a waffle ingredient service. Why is that? Why do we not have a waffle ingredient service? I added it. Oh, silly me. I know what's happened. We come in here. This is our program. It does tell me we need to add our clients and policies. Okay. All right. Now it should go. Let's add that. That does help when you take your stuff out and then you encapsulate them that they run. Okie dokie. Hurrah. We have it running. Now, let me bring up this. We're going to get some errors on here in a moment. Let's put that side. Let's have you there. Let's go and run. You can see it's errored. And straight away, we've done nothing. We haven't tried it. There's nothing in there. We just gave back a list of empty toppings. Boo, hiss, that's horrible for our user. So let's go and fix that. I'm going to leave that as is. And what I'm going to do is implement our policies. So let's stop our application, go into clients and policies, back up here. Let's put that in, rid of this semicolon, and let's run. Okie dokie, let's bring back up this. So we should now see something different happen because we've got a retry policy and we've got our circuit breaker. Okay, so we've got that loading. You see it tried once and it's still going. Oh, it's tried a second time. It's still going. It's going to try again. Took a little bit longer. And now, after a little bit more time, it gets bigger each time, the tire. I think it doubles. You can set how it goes. And you'll see, oh, and we got nothing back. And I've left this here because it says the circuit breaker, this circuit is now open. So our circuit breaker kicked in, and that's where you could go and handle your properties. You can go and do logging, and it just doesn't just fall over flat, which is not great for your user. So that's a really nice thing to add in, really straightforward and good to go. Right, I know we're really tight on time. So one last thing I'm going to show you is just on the tidying up stuff. You can do this for databases as well. You can extend iService collection for them, and we've got some nice stuff going on to add in your databases. We've got SQL. You can pass through your configuration. So it's all in this project, which you can go and have a look at. And now if we go down here, one of the things we had was this API in here. Now that's going to also get messy if you've got loads of minimal APIs in your program file. So we don't really want that, do we? So I've got another extension. This time I'm extending web application. You can see this app. So let's go and have a look at that. So if we come down here, add APIs async, and we have that. And just the same, we're passing using this keyword to get the web application. This one happens to be async. And then I've just dropped in all of my minimal APIs here. And you can structure this however you wish. Let me just tidy that. Nope, it's not going to tidy up for me. And then to use that, just like you've done with others, we've commented out there. We've got the await in here. And that should still just run the same. I can run it. We should see the post now because I've brought that in. And if I bring that over, you can see I've now got the post. And there you go. That's then pulled in. So, oh my goodness, that's super quick. What I will just say, if you do want to run tests on your program, you're going to need to just put this at the very end of your program file, public partial class program, and that will allow you to test anything that you've got in here if you're writing tests for it. So I know that was a really, really whirlwind whiz around here. So the key things are that we've got these minimal hosting patterns and this top level statements. So we've got rid of a whole load of ceremony. If you're coming from, say, Node, this is going to look like Express.js and be far more familiar to you. We've got rid of some extra files. We've streamlined so much of the code down. We've got everything that we need and nothing that we don't. And that's what I really like about it. And you can wrap these things and design it however your team likes. I would discuss it with your team and make sure that you're doing all of your encapsulation and stuff how you all want to do it, and just have a style guide ready for it. And then that's it. You'd be ready to go. All right. Jamie, do we have questions? That was a whirlwind. Wow.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
I can. I'm just going to put this back up in case anyone wants to know where the code is. It's here on GitHub. So
that's where you can find it. You can find all of that on Layla's GitHub at Layla-P. That was a whirlwind. You actually did it in less time than you needed. So that was amazing.
Oh, I was told I had 25 minutes.
Well, technically, yes, in case there was a lot of questions. Currently, we don't have any questions related to your present session.
What?
But for those watching, if you have questions for Layla, drop them in the chat right now and we'll get them to her.
Yes. Or you can come and find me on Twitter at Layla Codes It. I am very happy. Or you can go laylap@vmware.com. You can email me. I don't mind. Very open to your ideas about how you want to organize things. I just saw from Nick on Twitch, fastest presentation from Layla ever. I really worry because I'm quite a slow speaker and I like to wax lyrical. So that was like Layla on like 6 monsters.
Yeah, you went through it perfectly. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was abridged. I made sure that we put this abridged so people knew it was going to be speedy.
So will you be giving this presentation anytime in the near future?
I'm actually done for conferences this year. I am going to be giving this as a 2-hour workshop at NDC London on the week beginning the 23rd of January. And I think I'm also giving this at Steeltoe in Stockholm the 2nd week of February. So yeah, it's not retired yet. Several versions of it online. If you look for it, they'll be longer and in more depth. But there's a lot of things in here if you want to go and search around. One thing I would suggest people going to have a look at if you are rooting around in this is if you go into add dependencies, lying down here is this add life cycles. And you can go and do a little bit of testing and understand the difference between singleton, scoped, and transient life cycles. And those are consumed by a, where's it gone? There is another API around here somewhere that consumes, lying around, hidden. It's an Easter egg, I've decided. There is a minimal API that consumes 2 instances of that life cycle. So you can go and see how life cycles work and have a little play. And if you get stuck, ping me and I'm happy to point you in the right direction. Every time I say singleton, Jamie, I'm like, I feel like I'm calling you by your surname. I'm like, hey, singleton.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, yes. Really quickly, we did actually get one question, and I want to make sure we squeeze it in. Well, Nick said spot on. Great job. One question we did get was, can you all support the VS VM extension for Visual Studio? Just as a
I don't know. That's something for the Visual Studio team and Vim. I have no idea. This is Rider as well, so this isn't Visual Studio. I'm sure there's Vim for this. I have never been brave enough to try Vim. So
Understandably.
yeah, I have no idea. I'm a Vim virgin. I wouldn't know what to do with it. So yes.
Well, for this presentation, for Ryder, for all of this was amazing, Layla. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, I will. I'll drop the links to the repo in Twitch and YouTube for folks. I can see there's some questions for it. I'll just drop the links in. And thank you so much. Have a great time, everybody, and cheerio.